Last year I planted some Alpine strawberry plants from seed and happened to forget about them. Come springtime, I noticed that the plants had survived the harsh winter weather and showed promising signs of growth. This was the first time I had planted strawberry from seed. I would be pleasantly surprised with what happened next. Soon enough, the plants had developed stalks with inflorescences. The center of each one of these simple 5-petaled flowers would eventually swell into a small strawberry, turning from yellow to green to white and then finally bright red, indicating ripeness. Well, I've waited all winter for this moment and it's time to taste the first strawberries of the season. These Alpine strawberries look delicious. They're very small, but this one wasn't especially sweet. Maybe it's because it's been raining a lot, but it has a lot of fragrance. Now, I would love to actually get these naturalized all over the garden. That would be ideal. These strawberries are much closer to the wild strawberries that grow in the temperate zones in the northern hemisphere than the large commercial strawberries we all know. It grows naturally in the edge of forests, embankments, hillsides, and prairies. It is a vigorous plant, and the fact that it comes true from seed shows it most likely has greater disease resistance than the commercial clones. They also propagate by runners, the main mode of replication for commercial types. So if I wanted to spread it around the garden, I could do so by digging up the side shoots that root from the end of the runners, planting them in unused crevices around the garden. As I looked for ripening fruit, I made a surprising discovery. Wow, I was almost giving up, but for some really odd reason, this plant, it had a lot of bitter overtones, and this one has the most amazing tutti frutti bubblegum scent to it, or taste to it. It's not overly sweet, actually, it's not too sweet at all, but the scent was so powerful. That makes me believe. Now I wonder why one plant would actually have meh flavor and this one would have amazing flavor and scent. It could be because these are grown from seed and because of genetic diversity. So I'm actually really curious to see how they will turn out once more of them ripen, and if there's an actual difference, because if that's the case, then I'm surely going to replicate vegetatively this one to spread around the garden. Not that one, because again, bitter overtones. Now if it's something having to do with the soil, even though they're basically in the same place, then it's even more amazing. We'll see. Growing them from seed had been a bit challenging. Not all seeds germinated, and several of the seedlings died. They have incredibly small seeds, so propagating them vegetatively is the easiest way to multiply them. As the harvest increased each day, I decided to harvest something else I had planted beside it, spinach, to make a garden fresh spinach strawberry salad. The spinach started to surprise me. They've, in the past couple of weeks, grew greener and bigger. I think it's because it's been raining a lot and it's been a little bit colder. So that's a good sign. That means I can actually harvest something and not feel like a total failure. And I plan to make a nice salad, and because actually the other spinach here has not grown well, it was shaded by the strawberries, I'm gonna just use the strawberries as a dressing, make a strawberry dressing for a spinach salad. I think that will pair well. While this spinach harvest would be a failure to anyone else, to me it was a small success. As I had pointed out in the previous video, I had always struggled to get spinach growing. Our less than stable spring weather would not help much. While I heard it grows abundantly in wet and cool climates like those of the United Kingdom in spring, it has a tougher time growing in warmer, drier places. Slowly I'm getting the hang of how to grow it. Many times we learn by failure. As for the strawberries, while getting them to sprout and grow from seed was difficult at first, I was confident that they would establish themselves well and care for themselves as time passed. If you are growing them from seed, collecting the seed from store-bought fruit may not yield what you're expecting. Commercial varieties are hybrids, and their offspring will most likely not come true to seed. That is why they're usually sold as runners to be planted in the garden. But you can find these true to seed Alpine strawberries online. They should be planted in a spot with at least 6 hours of sun to ensure fruit production. They like a well-draining soil that is kept moist. A sandy loam soil is ideal for them, with a slightly acidic pH of about 6 to 6.5. Working in plenty of organic matter such as compost and mulch top dressing will make them happy and healthy. The variety I planted is an Everbearing one. That means that it would continue setting fruit throughout the season. I think that it's better to grow these instead of June-bearing, daylight-sensitive varieties, as you are sure to get more out of each plant if they produce more than once a year. I love to maximize production as much as I can, and choosing resilient, abundant varieties is part of the trick. Growing perennials is also a great way of getting more with less effort, and if well taken care of, they produce well for many years to come. Coming up in the next block, I will show you how my salad turned out, right after this commercial. If you enjoyed the videos and would like to support the channel, you can purchase an original painting or drawing in my Etsy shop, or become a patron in my Patreon. With my bounty in hand, I went into the kitchen to make a quick yet flavor-packed garden-fresh salad, using the perfectly ripe Alpine strawberries as the stars of the dish. First, I washed the spinach leaves well. Since I picked them in early morning, they were nice and crisp. Olha os olhos da menina, refletindo a selva mãe. Seiva escorre pelos veios seus rabiscos. Ouço os hinos desta terra, sonhos longe a ecoar. Vejo os planos de Marina de crescer e estudar. To create my own strawberry dressing, I mashed a few strawberries in a small bowl using a pestle. These strawberries exude the most pleasant fresh berry scent once crushed. I added a touch of salt to the strawberry puree to season it. Cada dia aprende sua letra, dança a valsa da palavra vida. I then poured about a teaspoon of white wine vinegar to brighten the flavor, without competing with the strawberry. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil would complete this super simple but delicious dressing. Olha os olhos da menina, refletindo a selva mãe. I then cut thin slivers of onion and sprinkled them on top of the spinach. The thinner you cut them, the better they taste. Ouço os hinos desta terra, sonhos longe a ecoar. Vejo os planos de Marina de crescer e estudar. Pega a estrada, sobe a serra, sua causa a selva. Luta pelo luto, Chico Mendes e seu lar. Cada dia aprende sua letra, dança a valsa da palavra vida. Quando o sol raiar, verde renascer, canta sua poesia em oração. Finally, I drizzled the dressing over everything. It has a most beautiful ruby red color. To finish the salad, I finely grated a Brazil nut over everything. This really complements all the flavors. Indeed, this was a most delicious spring treat. You cannot beat truly fresh garden produce. You will only understand that once you try it out yourself.